Hey yo, YouTube, what's going on? I told you I'd be back soon with the review of the EVGA XR1 Pro. Let's get right into it. All right, so the EVGA XR1 Pro is very reflective, collects a lot of dust on the top and fingerprints, so if you don't care about that like me, no big deal. I mean, I wipe it down if I touch it, but it's really cool. So this side, you got your HDMI in and your USB-C to connect to your computer, HDMI out. Probably wondering what this dial is on the top right here. We'll get into that in just a moment. But for looks wise, weight wise, it's actually a pretty cool little device. I'll show you the front because it also has something really awesome, a built-in audio mixer. So you have an input here and an output there. So you plug your headphones into this side, and then you plug your input into that side. We'll get more into that in just a few. But I will say this is definitely built for console streamers, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox. I wouldn't recommend using it on a PC just due to it's got 4K pass-through at 60 frames a second. And so it'll capture at 1080p, which obviously that's what you want when you stream or record. And the real reason I wouldn't recommend for PC is you can't capture while you're doing the pass through of 1440p at 120 hertz. It'll pass through, but it won't be able to be capturing or recording or doing anything like that. That's why I say it's definitely built for console streamers like myself, or console content creators, not even streaming, but like recording YouTube, stuff like that. So we're gonna go over the functions that come in the box with it. Nice little indication card. Because I know some of the reviews were saying that there's no instructions, that it's really hard to understand how to use. I didn't have any issues whatsoever, to be honest. I plugged it up, opened the card, realized what everything did. I was like, all right, sweet, cool beans. And so I used one of my buddies when we were playing around, we were testing. So we were party chatting through the headphones, and I was able to capture all the audio and alert sounds from my desktop all through this one input here, all through there. You may need to order a cable. I have one already, but I purchased it years ago. I was able to, so I can get the party chat on streams, but it's from Elgato. It's a chat link. It's a party chat link cable. I'd recommend getting one of these, and you'll be able to set it the same way I did. Comes essentially a built-in splitter, so it'll capture your microphone. Long end would go into the computer, and that's how I captured it that way. So it's kind of set up similar, but instead of the splitter going into my controller, it's going into the input of the XR1 Pro. And then the XR1 comes with this cable because it's designed to plug straight from your controller to the box. But since we have this extra cable, because I wanted to capture all my computer audio and just use one headset without having to buy an extra amp or a mixer, because this is all built in, which is really cool. So you would take this end, plug this guy into it, plug the other end into the bottom of your PlayStation controller or Xbox controller, whichever you are using. And then this big long end you'd plug into your computer in the headphone jack. And that way we'll get all the audio that we're working with, the game audio, computer audio, everything like that. I'm gonna show you guys in just a bit on how to capturing everything, game audio, music from the computer, everything. It's gonna be awesome. It was really sweet to figure that out. And we're back. Everything's all hooked up the way it is. I have the Elgato chat link cable going in to the XR1 Pro, controller going into the Elgato, and the other long end, or into the Elgato chat link, and that long end from that chat link cable is into the headphone jack of my computer. So that's in the XR1 is capturing everything right now. So capturing the music, my desktop sounds, the PlayStation or Xbox, whichever you choose. And unfortunately, my buddy's not available right now to do a party chat with me to where you can hear him talk, and then my microphone is able to go through the XR1 as well, and everything is captured in one little section, one little area, and it is phenomenal. You don't need to spend an extra $150 to $250 on a mixing amp, anything like that. It's all built in. You just got to know how to have the right stuff and how to hook it up, which I figured out and I'm sharing to you guys. And what's great about that Elgato chat link cable, it's $9.99 at Best Buy or Amazon or even Elgato's website. The reason I have it is I used to use an Elgato HD60, which is right here. It does not do the 4K pass-through, which obviously we have the PlayStation 5 hooked up. And I got some 4K monitors, and I wanted to play in 4K while still capturing in 1080p, and unfortunately this device couldn't do it. And when I bought this years ago, I paid $179 for it. You know, not a big deal, but the HD60S Plus, which handles, or which can do that 4K pass-through, similar to the XR1, that was the lowest price I saw for it was $199. So I was like, I'll be spending a little bit more just to get the added feature. And then I came across the EVGA XR1 Pro, which does do the 4K pass-through, and I had a fantastic price of $149.99 at Newegg. I bought it there only to find out it was on sale for $129.99 at Amazon. $130, video capture, built-in mix amp, and it does everything we need. The 4K pass-through, which is huge, and there is very little buffering. Obviously, you can add filters to it just like you can any other input, but it's fantastic. So far, I've had it for 2.5 days, and I've done some test recordings here and there. We're doing one right now, obviously. And I'm very happy with the purchase. It got very negative reviews. Just, I'm guessing from when EVGA released it, they didn't have very good instructions or anything like that for it. But I'm telling you, this is a great little tool. It's a great little box if you're starting out streaming and you have a PlayStation 5 or a new Xbox Series X, and it does the 4K and you have the monitors, but you don't have the capture device. You don't have to go Elgato. Don't get me wrong, I was very happy with mine, but it doesn't do what I need it to anymore. So you don't have to buy an Elgato anymore. You can actually get the EVGA XR1 Pro, and it'll do everything that you need. And it's at a great price point, because I was looking at between $200 and $250 for the Elgato, and I didn't want to spend that much. I just wanted to keep it low. I do this as a hobby, and I'm very happy with the purchase. So we're going to circle back. We're going to circle back really quick, because I'm sure you guys are wondering, what the hell is that dial do? Well, I'm going to tell you what it does. So I'm going to read the card, but playing with it, you hit up on that dial, you click it up, that changes the lighting effect. You click it down, it changes the color. If you select it left, if you're using the party, if you're in a party, if you select the button left and then turn it up or down, will adjust the volume of your mic input. It'll adjust the volume of your mic input through the XR1, even though you can still adjust it on your Xbox or on your PlayStation 5 through the settings. It'll adjust it there as well in case you're too loud for the other end, or, you know, I turned it all the way down because the XR1 will capture your mic input, and if you're streaming or recording, you want it to use your mic that you have set up for that. So I turned it all the way down and it doesn't capture me. And what's great, because of the PlayStation settings, my buddy was still able to hear. It was awesome. And then if you hit the switch right and adjust the volume up and down, it'll adjust the party chat and everything else that you're hearing. So in OBS, you'll see on the live mixer, if you turn it up or turn it down, it'll go up or down, which is so awesome. So if at one point you're playing and it's a little too loud, chat is kind of angry or anything like that, you can adjust it on the fly. You can pause whatever game in or hide in the corner if you're in a shooter or a BR and click it to the right, adjust the dial, boom, perfect. And then if you hold the button in for 10 seconds, it's going to factory reset. It'll factory reset all the way to the default settings. I haven't had to do that, but I mean, I don't know in a case you would have to do that. I'm not too sure. And then we're going to cover the different LED indicators and the variations of what the lights stand for. So gradient white is USB 3.0 mode, standby with USB 3.0 mode, which that's how I have mine connected. The computer I built a couple years ago has a USB 3.0 connection on the back, which is... I honestly, I had no idea it was on the motherboard. I just figured that out maybe like 2 weeks ago, so that was pretty sweet. Gradient yellow is using USB 2.0 mode because it does come with a cable that has USB-C and USB 2. I wouldn't mess with that cable. I'm using the USB-C cable that came with my Elgato a few years ago. It's a nice thick cable, handles all the video pass through just fine. So I'd say that's one thing I would do is search on Amazon if you go to buy this on Amazon, or if you go to like an electronics store in town that might have it. Like here we have Altex that might carry this in store. That would also have a nice thicker version of USB-C cable. Just snag one of those because you wanna have one cable, not having a cable with a splitter. That's just a little weird to me. Flashing white twice, that means it's resetting itself. It's resetting the device. Solid red, mic is muted. Gradient red, USB signal issue, no video. I have mine on the gradient red right now. I'm a big fan of red, but as you can see, there's no video issue. Gradient green, USB signal issue, no support for upscale. Gradient blue, USB signal issue, HDCP. Because with the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, you have to turn off HDCP to stream, which I'll show you here in the settings if you're not familiar with it. Here in the storage, here in the system, enable HDCP. If I do that, you won't be able to see, and you won't be able to see it in the stream, and you won't be able to see it on your monitor either. So you got to make sure just on the PlayStation you have that disabled. And that's it, man. I know this was a brief video, but it was just my personal review of what this thing can do. If you need help getting this thing into OBS, let me know. I can make a video on that as well, and how to capture all the audio in OBS for it. But I really do hope you enjoyed what you've seen. You take my review to heart. I know there's a lot of negative ones out there, but if you are a console streamer and you want to start it up, get going without having to break the bank, without having to have a 2 PC setup stream, which obviously if you're a console streamer you don't need that, this little box is definitely the one for you. I left the Elgato because the first Elgato I had was just a regular HD60 that I bought, I don't know, 6 years ago. And then I bought the HD60S 4 years ago. And I was an Elgato fanboy. Leaving now, it's opening my eyes to other brands, and I'm extremely happy so far with what EVGA has put out. So hope you enjoyed what you've seen. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, leave a comment if you want me to go over something else. Let me know.